The Square Ball Podcast.
Hello there and welcome to the show. It's brought to you along with Levi Solicitors, who will give you a 10% discount on your legal fees at levisolicitors.co.uk/the Square Ball. Dan Moylan here, along with Michael Normanton and Rob Conlon today for the weekly show. Hello. Ad-free. You can get all these podcasts ad-free, priority access to the match ball when that returns in December, nearly in Christmas. Got a little bit of time off now, haven't we, gentlemen? Talking about TSB Plus, by the way, if you want to have a look at that, thesquareball.net/plus, our members package, loads of perks, discounts on merch, early access, and so on.
No increase in price despite being award-winning.
Oh, yes. Yeah, there is that.
I mean, we might start really gouging people on it. 40 quid a month.
The Squareball. We'll do that Sky do, just keep hiking the prices.
Exactly.
Thesquareball.net/plus. We do need to say thanks again for that. If you missed propaganda earlier in the week, we said thanks for our award. Do you want to go get it? Because I can't be trusted.
Oh, fine.
Is that your phone that's making noises as well?
Correct, yep.
Award winning.
that does still work despite you dropping a brick on it. There we go. Look at that. Boom.
There is the award.
It's nice, isn't it?
It is there, and it's in focus as well if you're looking at the video version just about.
Lovely stuff. Yep, it's nice and solid.
So thank you again if you did take the time to vote for us. We really appreciate it. We were completely blown away by winning it, weren't we? I remember, our award was given out late. Like the awards started at 6:30. We had 4 pints before we got to the awards, hadn't we? In the afternoon.
Yeah, steady.
got to the awards at 6:30 for the champagne reception, and the awards themselves started at 7, and it was free booze on the table, and our award was 11 o'clock. So you can kind of do the maths on it.
Yeah, it was a long old stint, wasn't it? But
I remember at the moment when it was announced, I realised, because obviously there's something along the lines of they couldn't beat Fulham, but they couldn't do it, and I went, it's us. And they went, it's the Square Ball. And I remember, I think I looked at you and went, fuck, like that. And we went up and got it and blathered some words out on stage and got the hell out of there. But that was nice, wasn't it?
It was very good.
It was very nice. So thank you. Thanks for letting us have another brilliant moment, and hopefully we will carry on making you happy and doing stuff for you like this that you will enjoy. This is the weekly show, part one of which is the news, the Leeds United news. And there is Leeds United news, despite the season having now packed up and gone off to Qatar for a bit. We've got a friendly to look forward to versus Real Sociedad on December the 16th. That's the Friday just before Christmas. It's sort of colloquially known as Mad Friday, isn't it?
Or Black Eye Friday.
Yep.
Potentially. I mean, it's Diego Llorente's testimonial.
Yep,
so
that's the plate.
He'll be handing them out.
The Llorente plate, vase, shield.
Either way, it's getting broken. Yeah, have you bought a ticket yet?
No, not yet.
No, I probably will go.
I have got one. I just think a month off, you're going to have the sort of craving for it, aren't you, eventually?
20 quid. I did go, 15 would have been enough.
I must admit, I told some friends to get me one without realising the 20 quid. I was like, oh, right, okay, cool.
But yeah, everyone's been going to be starved of it, aren't they, by then? And the good news is it will give us an opportunity to sell a magazine, because we were doing a kind of an interim no league game to sell it at magazine. So
this is issue 4 of this season. Which is it going to go out to subscribers? But it'll give us the game to sell it. And is it going to be girthier as well?
I mean, Rob's been working on it more than me, but yeah, I believe it's got...
I mean, you say working on it, we should probably write it. But yeah, it's going to be bigger, more work, which we have definitely done. Slightly bigger.
Is it going to have a spine?
I think it's going to have a slight spine. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be brilliant. It's going to be definitely finished soon.
Yeah, I mean, in most walks of life, spine, good. One of those. Keeps you upright.
It does.
Stops you flopping on the floor like a little puddle of jelly. So that's good. I'm just looking at the date of this Real Sociedad game. It is between the 2 World Cup semi-finals, which are on the 13th, 14th, the Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the third place playoff is the Saturday. Is there a more pointless thing than a third place playoff? Nobody wants it. Nobody wants to be there. Chance for everyone to have a run out, but at that time of year, Winter World Cup and all that, everyone just wants to get home, don't they? And then the final is on Sunday the 18th, and then we're back at it the week after that. Strange, isn't it? It's Christmas the week after that, and then we're back at it a bit later, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, we'll talk about the World Cup in a separate section, won't we?
Yeah, we'll do that in part 2.
A little bit. But, I would call it a preview, but it's not really going to be. It's going to be 3 men moaning.
That's what we should rename this show.
In all probability.
3 men moaning.
If you're buzzing for the World Cup, sorry. I'm sure some people are.
We've seen some more of our games moved as well, haven't we? The Villa away game has been moved to Friday night, Friday the 13th at 8 o'clock.
Going to probably assume there's no trains back from that. Not check, but it sounds late, doesn't it?
Yeah, although Birmingham to Leeds is doable, isn't it, on the cross-country services?
Yeah, probably. Maybe.
I've just realised I'm meant to be at a birthday party in Birmingham on the Saturday, and I was looking forward to potentially doubling up as an away day and a party, but obviously you can't do that now.
You could go down on the
full
Friday.
Full weekend in Birmingham.
You don't want to spend that long in Birmingham, do you?
It's got lots to offer. I forget what, but there's some stuff there.
Yeah, that Ronnie Scott's, is that still there?
The what?
Ronnie Scott's, the jazz place.
Oh, I've no idea.
That's the only place I remember in Birmingham. Anyway, Brentford at Ellen Road, Sunday the 22nd of January. 2 p.m. kickoff. I hate those 2 p.m. Sunday kickoffs are horrible. And it's going to be January as well, and everything's bleak, and no one's been paid yet either.
3 men moaning's not till the World Cup.
Sorry. I can't wait for that. Yeah, woo. Those Sunday 2 o'clock kickoffs, they don't sit right with me. I much prefer the Saturday stuff. But will Ivan Toney be playing? That's the question. Interesting to see how that one goes. We probably should just tread carefully around that from a legal standpoint.
Well, they've said what he's done, and he's put a load of bets on. But
yeah. Has he been charged with misconduct now? He has, hasn't he?
Unless players are betting on their own stuff. It feels like a lot of this stuff seems to be about protecting bookmakers as much as anything, which seems an odd stance for the football authorities to have.
Although there is a way, if you think about it, like, because betting is very granular now, isn't it? In that you can bet on like first yellow cards, time of first corner, things like that. So it's open to manipulation and abuse.
Yeah, but like Jordan Stevens, when he got his ban for betting, he was just betting on some football matches that he had no links to. He was just sticking accumulators on and stuff. And when Trippier got a ban, it was because he told some mates that he was joining, was it Atletico Madrid at the time? I think it was that transfer. So he told some mates about it and they'd put some bets on. And then I presume the bookies had gone, oh, we've lost a load of money on this.
Yeah.
And then he got a ban, Trippier got a ban for it. And you think, well...
What was Jordan Stevens? It was like 6 weeks, wasn't it? And he wasn't allowed contact with anyone at the club and stuff like that.
Yeah, he wasn't allowed to the training ground and stuff.
That was basically that he'd moved to Leeds and kind of found it hard to settle down and didn't really know what to do with himself. So he'd put some bets on. And then they were like, well, right, you're going to have a lot of free time now on your hands. What are you going to do?
Yeah. So I don't know we don't know what Tony's actually done. He may have been, sticking £1 million on the first throw-in of the game or something, that sort of stuff. But probably not, because I think footballers just have money and are bored. Mainly. Yeah,
so the main Leeds news then for this week, the friendly, as we mentioned, those moved games. Jesse's got a new job writing stuff for The Athletic. We could cover that off now or in the World Cup. We've also got Bielsa potentially on his way to Bournemouth or Everton. Cody Drame links to Newcastle, Dortmund and Leverkusen. Update from the women as well, who drew in the FA Cup. Penalty shootout, that's exciting, which they won 1-0.
Yeah, it was.
That doesn't strike you as a high-quality shootout, does it?
I mean, having watched the is it Papa John's? Yes, Papa John's. I get confused with it's Papa John's or Checker Trade. Having watched that Papa John's shootout, I thought that would be the worst penalty shootout I watched this year, but nope. It was a 1-0. Brickhouse managed to miss all 5 of their penalties.
So that one, penalty shootout. What do I want to talk about? Do you want to talk about Jesse in the World Cup bit?
People have been wanting him to get a new job, etc. And now he gets one, and people are
moaning.
I suppose he's within his rights.
Absolutely, it's completely harmless, isn't it? But the people who are against this will turn around and say, and I've got no particular view in it. I don't really care either way. I don't think it affects anything. People will turn around and say, you having not made a glorious start and then turned it around a bit, you should be knuckling down and sorting out that defence. That's what the critics are going to say. People who don't care will go, not bothered. It's just a bit of work. He's probably talking it down the phone. Someone's writing it down, recording it, whatever.
Yeah, I really couldn't be bothered. I mean, part of me thinks it might be interesting. Part of me thinks it's probably going to be quite annoying. But we'll see.
Why? Why is it going to be annoying?
It's just Jesse Marsh talking more, isn't it?
And why is it interesting?
Well, to hear some brilliant insight from our manager, see what he thinks.
Sounds like you want it both ways, Rob Conlon.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
I think you should spend all of that time with Junior Firpo.
Just encouraging him.
Just showing him video of stuff, going, don't do that. Don't do that anymore. Don't do that. But in a positive way.
Yes.
Because he's a positive guy, isn't he?
Is this a safe time to segue into Marcelo Bielsa, or should we just put a drama-shaped buffer in there?
Bielsa's the obvious place, isn't it? Yeah. I didn't like the Bournemouth link. It's not gone away yet either, has it?
It's a bit awkward, isn't it?
How did you feel about the lectures in Poland? You see that he was doing that presentation, wasn't he? And I think Clicky's name came up in the...
Well, that's sort of given me hope in that he was saying he's analysed Poland's last 50 games. You think, well, surely he's been too busy to have given the Bournemouth job, and he thought. But then part of me worries that he's going to take the Bournemouth job and then just immediately sign Matt Click. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think he'd go to Bournemouth.
Well, he hasn't yet.
I know, but as they're not a team I ever considered he might join.
Why? Does it not sort of feel like it sits in his wheelhouse, maybe?
No, I don't know. He normally goes to sort of kind of bigger industrial cities and clubs that have maybe got a bit more history. I know that's probably harsh on Bournemouth, but they're a fairly new Premier League team, aren't they, Bournemouth? I don't think many people historically consider them to be a big club, and they've got a really little stadium, and Bournemouth fans will be hating this, but I don't know. I just don't. It's not the sort of club I ever imagined him going to.
Yeah, he sort of goes for the almost like midweight clubs, doesn't he? Like upper midweight.
Yeah,
they've got quite a lot of potential.
Like always fairly large fan base, a bit mental in certain aspects, and Bournemouth just seem a really nice, safe option.
What is it about Lazio's fans that you? Yeah,
well, yeah.
Maybe not.
I mean, he didn't stay there long. He didn't stay there long, did he?
They were a bit too intense for him, weren't they?
Yeah, they've got some intense views. A lot of them.
That's a great euphemism. Intense views.
Yeah, well, they're very emphatic in some of the things they believe.
I think it would hurt if Bielsa went to Everton as well.
Everton makes a lot more sense.
It does make sense, but
Bielsa.
It would almost be almost a bit of a fuck you by Frank Lampard to get fired and then be replaced by Bielsa. I mean, it'd be dead funny in terms. He'd hate that. He'd absolutely hate it. But so it'd be funny from that angle. But you get the sense that he'd make them fun to watch, and they're about that same sort of size club, aren't they? In terms of like fan base, stadium. It feels a bit too close to home, I think.
I really enjoyed Everton just hating themselves though. I wouldn't want him to come in and give them enjoyment. It's weird because like the kind of grown up part of me thinks I should just think as long as Marcelo's happy, that's fine. But then the childish part of me just thinks, no, he's ours. You're not allowed him. Go away.
It's like if you break up after like a nice, like a long relationship. You've had some really good times and stuff, and you can break up and think, oh well, look, I kind of hope they're happy, whatever. But then it's if they got together with someone you knew, you'd be like, whoa, not like this. Go off and be happy somewhere else
with somebody I don't know.
Exactly. That's horrible. Now you've completely ruined it. So we've got some decisions to make, haven't we? If he does join
some unresolved
an English
issues.
club, we've got a little statue of him there in the corner, and there's pictures of him about the place. And
yeah, I mean, not to mention the reorder of the merchandise we've just done.
Well, Bournemouth or Everton fans could buy it.
Yeah, I mean, it says something about it that it's one of the best-selling items that we've got, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll have to process.
Just get a job somewhere in another country.
He really just needed to get that Bilbao job, didn't he? That would have been perfect. And also, I really wanted a trip to Bilbao.
Yeah, that would have been nice too. Yeah, I don't want to go to Bournemouth or Liverpool. Well, not unless it's to watch Leeds, but. Yeah,
you could combine those.
Go somewhere more interesting is what I'd ask of him.
About Cody Drama going somewhere more interesting. These are bizarre links to Newcastle, Dortmund, and Leverkusen of all clubs. Is there anything in this, or has he just got a really good agent?
Makes you think, doesn't it? He's a weird one, Drama, because he's highly rated, and for the 23s last year and the 21s this year, he's looked good. There was a lot of hype around him last season in particular. Albeit when we've seen him in the first team, I know it's only been a handful of appearances, he's kind of looked not very good. But it's a big jump up, and he's generally been thrown in quite difficult circumstances. But then last January was quite weird, the way he left on loan, which, fair enough. I thought it was kind of admirable in one sense that he was taking his career in his own hands and went to Cardiff and did really well. But then the way he left and deleted all the Instagram photos of him playing for Leeds and things like that, you do think...
That's a bit teenage breakup, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you not have someone advising you going, just don't do that and then it'll be all right? And then, this season he's not really got a look, and he played at Brentford, didn't he? Which wasn't his fault. It was an absolute horror show. But then it was...
Did he look all right at Brentford?
Well, Ayling came on and everyone was immediately like, Ayling's better than him.
Right.
But then it was the other week... He was due to be in the squad against Wolves, and Marsh said afterwards that Drama had said he wasn't fit to play or be involved. But yeah, it's all just very weird. Admittedly, with Christensen and Ayling ahead of him, you do think, well, where are you going to actually play?
I've just checked our TSB Plus members' scores, and for that game against Brentford, he got 5.29 average score out of 10. But we did ship 5 goals. So
I mean, what did Diego Llorente get?
I think he got a 1 for that, didn't he?
Diego Llorente for that game got 1.15 out of 10 average.
Okay, well, he's better than him then, I suppose.
He's 5 times better than Diego Llorente.
The links to those clubs in particular does feel a little bit like the days of Monty Gimple, where it was like, you'd be like, oh, he's been linked with Liverpool and Man United and Barcelona.
That's a great callback.
And Real Madrid. All these teams want him, and then it was like, can we see him play well? Nope.
I was going to say Monty Gimple is a TSB guide in one there, isn't he?
Yeah, it really is.
He
had some nice PR photos done, didn't he, Gimple? I remember there was one of him. I think there was one of him in a suit doing like an overhead kick or something.
A Gimple suit.
A Gimple suit. That's the one. Yeah.
Excellent. It feels like drama, especially as there's Luke Ayling in the mix. He just needs to go play some football for a bit, maybe alone in the second half of the season, and then if Ayling is still around next season, you just see how it all goes, don't you?
Or we need to make the decision that he's good enough to play now, and Ayling's out of contract at the end of the season.
That's what I mean. If Ayling's, but like Ayling's going to, unless there's an injury, he's going to be here till the summer. So you just let him go play some football in the second half of this season, get some more air miles like under his belt, and see what it's like when he comes back in the summer.
He's got one more year on his contract after this season.
2024, I think it ends.
Right.
But yeah, it was strange last January as well, though, because when he left, it was when there were loads of injuries, and he probably would have got a game. And he did. And you think, you do need to get an opportunity and take it, like we've seen Gelhardt do last season, like we've seen Somerville do this season. And it's a big ask to just drop a kid in and expect him to do it in one game. But you do need to hang around and try and get some games, don't you, I suppose?
Yeah, but I suppose Somerville's the good example, because he was apparently wanting to play some football last January, wasn't he? And he ended up not leaving. And then there was talk he could have left at the start of this season as well. And now, we're in November and he's our best player.
And I think the Newcastle link is that they want him to be a backup anyway, and they need to improve their 21 squad. So you think, well, you're not going there to get ahead of Kieran Trippier. So it's a weird one.
It is a weird one, and we'll see one. We never know. He might feature against Sociedad when we do that fixture, and next year is a glorious one for him. We'll see, won't we?
He's a good player. Like every time I've seen him in the under 20, 21s, 23s previously, I've always thought he's good. But yeah, admittedly, his little brief appearances in the first team have been a bit hit and miss, haven't they? There was the Arsenal game when everyone was injured and COVID ridden, and he got a bit roasted in that. But it was not an easy game for him to come into.
No, not at all. There you go. Then part one done and dusted. We will head into the World Cup chat, or Three Men Moaning, as that one's going to be called, I think. So have a look out for that in your podcast feed, in the video feed, straight after this one.
The Square Ball Podcast.